You're welcome to today's tutorial. My name still remains Emeka Obefe. But without wasting much of your time, let's just jump right into today's tutorial. This was where we ended our last tutorial, where I showed you how you can key out your green screen and add background to your green screen footages. Today, like I promised, I will be showing you how to create and add realistic looking shadows to your green screen project. So moving on from there, what we do first of all would be to double this footage right here, which I've highlighted, and this footage is this guy right here in front of the camera. Okay, so but first of all, before going into all that, I will need to label these stuff right here so you don't get confused as we move on. Okay, so remember this one under is the background. The background is very one right here, the background. So now what I will do next is move my mouse right here to the background. This is a JPEG. It's a JPEG picture which I use as my background. So I'll move my mouse right here and press the enter key and type whatever I want to type in there. So I'll type in background, and then I'll move on to my main footage. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be labeling this main footage Mr. Mike. Yeah, so after doing all that, the next thing would be to double this also the main footage, which is Mr. Mike. So you can double this footage by pressing the command D on your keyboard. All right, so you just press command and then press D. And yes, okay, so we have that right there. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing to do will be to come right to the bottom, which was your what's it called, the main footage earlier. We'll rename it shadow. So we'll repeat the same process here again. Move my mouse here and then click on the enter key on your keyboard and type in shadow. Okay, so we now have the background, shadow, and Mr. Mike. The next thing to do would be to separate the shadow from Mr. Mike. Okay, so we tap on the shadow footage to highlight it, and then move your mouse up to the screen, press and hold, and then drag to whichever area you want it, depending on your source of light. Okay, so this is it. So it's now separated from the main footage. Okay, so we have Mr. Mike. So now this shadow, you can see the one on the background is not a shadow, it's just a double of Mr. Mike. So to create the shadow, the next thing to do would be to go to your effects and look for generate. Yeah, there's that generate, and then look for hue. Yeah, okay, so we have this, and like your shadows aren't usually red. So the next thing to do will be to tap on this here and then move it to black, and then just tap OK. So we have this. So the shadow is coming up. Normally your shadows are usually blurry. Okay, they're usually blurry. So the next thing we'll do here to make it come out really realistic would be to give it some blur and then cut down the opacity, okay, to make it more realistic. So I will go now to my effects and look for blur and sharpen. So once I get to blur and sharpen, I'll come to Gaussian blur. Normally I like using the camera lens blur for my main footage, but for shadows like this or stuff like this, I'll go for the Gaussian blur. Okay, so we have the Gaussian blur right there, and we just increase the blurriness. So I'm moving to about say 37. So we have it there, so it's, you know, it's coming out looking a bit more realistic now. And so after doing that, the next thing will be to reduce the opacity. Okay, so I'll just come on to this area, just tap on this little icon here, this very one, just tap on it, and it shows you all these options: effects, transform, and audio. So you just tap on this icon, transform, and under this transform you have options right here. So we'll just go to opacity. Okay, so we'll reduce the opacity to about okay, let's reduce it to 74 and see how it looks, to 70, or let's leave it at 70 and see how it looks. Okay, so this is how it is when it's reduced to 69 or 70, thereabout. Okay, so it's still very strong. So to make it more realistic, I'll just take it down to about 24. Now take it down a little more to like 20. So you can just play with the opacity anyway, which way, anyhow you like. Okay, so that's just it. Okay, so that's how you can create or add realistic looking shadows to your green screen project, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. So for more regular updates, please don't fail to subscribe to this channel by simply clicking on the subscribe button. Thank you and see you next time.